All right, let's jump right into this explainer. And you're going to want to really focus in for this one because today we are unpacking one of the most brilliant, mind-bending esoteric systems ever recorded. We're talking about the cosmic secret of the Shekhinah's deployment into the ultimate darkness, the descent into Egypt. You know, when we look at these ancient sources like the deep revelations in the Zohar or the mapping of the Tree of Life, we are definitely not just reading history. No way. We're literally looking at a masterclass in cosmic architecture. The story of Jacob going into exile, it's actually a multidimensional blueprint. It shows us exactly how the divine presence interacts with environments of extreme limitation. So, let's break down these ancient mystical mechanics together.
Here is our agenda for today's journey through the Pardes. 1. The night vision. 2. Secret of the descent. 3. Mechanics of the Sephiroth. 4. The cosmic engineering. 5. The video game paradigm. And finally, 6. The final ascent.
Section 1. The Night Vision, a 4K heritage cinematic experience. Let's shift gears from the literal story to something much more profound. To really get this, I want you to picture the scene in stunning 4K heritage style. Imagine Jacob, asleep on the bare earth. Above him is this vast, endless star-filled night sky. He's standing right at the edge of the Holy Land, about to cross into Egypt, which, in the ancient sources, is the epicenter of exile. They call it the Kleeport, basically the absolute lowest, most constricted spiritual shell imaginable. And then, out of nowhere, a soft, divine voice echoes with the ultimate promise, I will go down with you to Egypt. As Jacob starts walking toward that darkness, this radiant feminine presence, the Shekhinah, descends right there next to him. She's veiled in brilliant light, voluntarily stepping into the suffocating void of exile, illuminating the shadows just enough to keep the path visible.
Section 2. Secret of the descent. Decoding the sod. Let's peel back the layers and look at the deep esoteric secret behind all this.
So, here is the absolutely crucial takeaway. The Shekhinah doesn't just abandon Israel when things get rough or the environment turns hostile. In Kabbalah, the Shekhinah is Malchut. She's the localized, immanent interface layer of the divine, and she gets deployed directly into the low signal zone. The secret, the sod, is that this exile, it's not an accident. The divine presence deliberately enters the darkness of Egypt to transform that exact spot into a hidden staging ground. It's literally a covert extraction mission right into hostile territory. To make this super clear, let's map this ancient mystic framework directly over to modern engineering. It's the exact same structural concept. Think of the Shekhinah as a mobile cloud instance that follows the user wherever they go. When Jacob and his descendants enter Egypt, which is essentially a dead zone with terribly degraded connectivity, this localized cloud instance stays active. It maintains the connection, it syncs the critical data, and it preserves total system integrity, completely ignoring how suffocating or hostile the surrounding environment happens to be. Moving on to Section 3, Mechanics of the Sephirotic, the systemic architecture. How does the system actually handle this massive drop in signal? Okay, let's unpack the hard mechanics here. The Sephirotic system is made up of 10 interconnected nodes of divine emanation. Normally, in a perfect state, Malchut, that localized presence, is completely unified with Tiferet, the central node of harmony, radiating this bright white light. But during exile, Malchut actually separates from that upper union and drops down into the lower fragmented realms. Look at how the colors shift. The light contracts. It dims from blinding white into this dark blue, almost pitch black void. But here's the catch. That darkness isn't empty. It's just concealing hidden sparks of holiness trapped inside the shells of Egypt. Mathematically, the whole system downshifts from a perfect 10 to a concealed 4, and the entire point of this localized descent is to gather up those trapped sparks so the system can eventually reascend and restore that full radiant 10. Section 4. The cosmic engineering, distributed systems in exile. Let's zoom out and look at this Sephirotic shift through macro-level systems architecture. If you're a systems architect, you're going to love this. The descent into Egypt is a highly deliberate network strategy. The divine network is acting like a distributed system that intentionally spins up a shadow instance, the Shekhinah, right in the middle of the darkness. Because think about it. When your primary environment degrades, you don't just pull the plug and shut everything down. You deploy a localized instance to keep the core functions running locally. The shadow instance goes in, gathers the lost data packets, those holy sparks we talked about, and protects them until the signal is strong enough for a full system recovery. It's honestly a masterstroke of cosmic resilience. Section 5. The video game paradigm, companion mechanics. Let's translate all this heavy engineering into something a bit more visceral. Imagine the video game version of this ancient text. You're the main character, and you just dropped into the absolute hardest, pitch-black survival level ever designed, Egypt. But you're not so low. The Shekhinah is your ultimate companion character. She automatically follows you straight into the hostile zones. The main light source might be gone, but she's right there, giving you hidden buffs, passive protections, and keeping your core health bar up. The texts call this sustaining your Koch Hachim, your life force. She's basically in the background, constantly healing your baseline stats so you don't hit 0 before the level's light finally turns back on. Section 6. The final ascent, restoring the system. Let's see how all of this builds to the ultimate goal.
So here we see the grand cycle the mystics call Yerida Letzorech Aliyah, a descent for the sake of an ascent. Step 1, you have the contraction, the exile itself. Step 2, the concealed companionship of the Shekhinah. Step 3 is the main objective, gathering those trapped holy sparks. And step 4 is full system recovery. What this shows us is that the contraction of light, it's a feature, not a bug. The system was literally designed to dip into the dark, retrieve what got lost, and mathematically restore that concealed 4 back to a perfect 10. The Shekhinah goes down, sure, but she drags the entire upgraded system right back up with her.
So how will you utilize your hidden buffs to gather sparks in your own low-signal zones? Thank you for joining us for this complete journey through the Pardes. We hope these ancient truths help you and your family improve your own dimensions this week. If you enjoyed this full chapter deep dive, please like, subscribe, and share which part of the journey touched your soul in the comments. We'll see you in the next chapter.